Well, today on BoxMac, we have my good friends Adam and Zach, who's a new co-host here.
Hello.
We're in round 3 of our Canadian versus US competition. We're gonna battle 3 Cheese Canadian versus 3 Cheese American today on BoxMac. This is my favorite Mac of all the Macs, of all BoxMacs there are.
We know.
No, it's my favorite. You gotta understand. 3 Cheese Canadian. It's won twice. So you've never had the US the 3 Cheese, right? Do you eat macaroni and cheese frequently?
I do. I usually eat whatever's cheapest, you know?
And you've never had the 3 Cheese in the Canadian side, right?
I never had. I'm a little bit of a Kraft dinner traditionalist. I usually just stick to the plain original.
Honestly, I'm rooting for the American one. I really want it to win, but we're gonna see. We're gonna find out. This is actually healthier for you than even the regular Kraft dinner. Less calories, 400 a serving versus 210 a serving. This again has the same message informing you about the healthiness of other Kraft options. This was actually labeled 3 cheese sauce mix. So now, Zach, do you remember how old you were the first time you cooked macaroni and cheese on your own? Maybe 10?
Probably.
I think that was about the same for me. Adam?
Probably about then.
Probably about the same. Is that like a rite of passage? Is there
Maybe,
like,
I don't
suddenly
know.
you can now cook on the big stove? This calls for 4 tablespoons. That's a half stick. We never do that. We do the 3.
1 tablespoon of non-hydrogenated margarine.
1 tablespoon. We're gonna use margarine today.
The American's calling for 2%, while the Canadian's calling for skim milk.
Skim milk. That's right. I noticed that. Do you use skim milk?
I use 2%. I can't stand skim milk.
Yeah, neither can I. So
It's colored water.
we've been using 1% today, and we're kind of halfway between skim and 2%. So everybody's gonna have to.
It'll balance out.
It's that health angle on the macaroni and cheese, trying to even from the packaging while you're making it. If you consider this healthier option to what you're eating right now. Color difference on the pasta. That one is definitely a darker shade. We have our American one right here. What's the milk requirement for the Canadian one then?
1/3 cup.
Zach, you've been sampling the Macs so far. What is your personal opinion about the Canadian Macs versus the American Macs so far?
Unfortunately, I have to say they're better. Just the flavor overall was better on both.
I'm very upset about this. If this doesn't go right, some macaroni and cheese must be better in the US than in Canada, right? Right? Now, Zach, when was the last time you had mac?
Last week, it was as a side dish.
Side dish. See, I hardly ever have mac as a side dish.
Had hot dogs with mac and cheese on the side.
Oh, that's a classic. I boil the hot dogs with the macaroni.
Gives it a bit of a flavor.
Yeah, the flavor really gets in there.
You know, when I have Kraft dinner, it's usually I'm getting home from work. You know, it's kind of late. I'm tired. I don't want to cook something fancy. Just throw a pot of mac on. Kind of comfort food.
Yeah, comfort food. Take it easy food. A hot noodle. They're right about the same, but the pasta is definitely different.
I found back home that the time involved between cooking spaghetti and Kraft dinner is pretty similar.
So why don't we take a look at a couple Kraft dinner macaroni and cheeses that we don't have here in the US. Kraft Spicy, just branded spicy, cheese and tomato. That's crazy to me. It's almost like you're having like a pasta dish with sauce.
Well, ketchup is a pretty common topping to put on your KD.
It's so strange to me. Sharp cheddar, which I actually think is the fact that we don't have it in the US is a real loss. I lost it. Definitely whiter pasta. Definitely. Our cheese sauce going in, and Zach, you can give that one a stir too. I'll stay hands off this round.
So far, this one's looking a lot more pale.
This is definitely a slighter different shade of cheese color. Let's start off with the American one. It's a good quality mac, not too buttery. Good flavor.
Actually a little buttery.
Good quality mac. One of my personal favorites. Let's give the Canadian a try here.
Oh, that's different.
Very much so. It's a much lighter flavor.
Yeah, it is, very.
It's really subtle. The 3 Cheese is very, especially even compared to the Kraft dinner, it's a lot lighter flavor. I think in this case, I still prefer the American 3 Cheese.
Yeah.
Adam, what are your thoughts?
When you buy 3 Cheese, you're expecting to get some real cheese flavor to it.
Yeah, cheese flavor.
And I think the American one is delivering that more.
I think this round goes to 3 Cheese. Well, I'm kind of reassured. I mean, I was worried. At least we have something here in the US to be proud of. our three cheese.
The three cheese.
Coming up next, we're gonna do extra creamy and see how that one compares. It'll either make us a tie or decide the ultimate winner. Next time on BoxMac.
Be a real American.
Next on Red Cow Entertainment, it all comes down to thick and creamy, as everything does in life. But before we get to the showdown, watch the other 2 Kraft Dinner Mac battles. Check back soon here at Red Cow Entertainment.
A hot noodle.